Morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to deliver my thanks to the organizer that already invited me to present a paper in this very important meeting. I would like to give information regarding the Indonesian coffee overview, started from the history, now and the future. You know that this is Indonesia, so I think not so far from Korea, from here. And yesterday I flew from my hometown here and then to Denpasar, Bali, and I think you also already know the Denpasar, Bali. And I flew to here more or less 10 hours. First of all, the coffee in Indonesia comes from India. So here, from the India, and then coffee goes to Indonesia to the Batavia. Batavia is the capital of Indonesia formerly, and now the name's changed to Jakarta. And the seedlings is Arabica coffee. Sent by the Governor General of Dutch at India and then sent to the Governor of Batavia. But unfortunately, the first seedling was failed to grow because there was a flooding in Jakarta, in Batavia, and the second shipment is in 1699, and up to now, the Arabica coffee grows in Indonesia. This is the history of coffee in Indonesia. So, in the first the second shipment is to Jakarta, to here, and then after that, at the 1750s to North Sumatra, to East Java, to Bali, and to Sulawesi, and also up until to Papua. Papua is the eastern part of Indonesia. And the first coffee bean export from Java to Europe carried out by the Dutch Indies Trading Company, we call VOC, Vereniging Oost-Indische Company. It is the Dutch language. And the export carried out in 1711 from Java to Europe, to Dutch, to Holland. And within 10 years, the export is increased until 60 tons per year. During 1696 up to 1874, Arabica coffee is only grown in Indonesia, not Robusta. But in 1874, the Arabica coffee attacked by the leaf rust, like now in Central America. And because the Arabica coffee attacked by the leaf rust, and then at 1874, Liberica coffee was introduced to Indonesia from Liberia, from west coast of Africa. But because the Liberica coffee also attacked by the leaf rust, so it's failed in Indonesia, and then at 19th century, the beginning of 20th century, Robusta coffee was introduced, and the Robusta coffee, and then spread out throughout Indonesia up to now. At the 1950s, the plantation on Java were nationalized by the independence and revitalized by the new varieties of coffee Arabica. So after the first shipment and second shipment of Arabica coffee attacked by the leaf rust, and after that, at the middle of 20th century, we introduced again the Arabica coffee with new varieties that already tolerant to leaf rust. And these varieties also adopted by the smallholders through the government and various development programs. This is the development of coffee in Indonesia from 2008 up to 2012. The area is constant, more or less 1.2 million hectares, and the production also constant, more or less 6 until 700,000 tons, and the level of productivity also constant, more or less 7 until 800 kg per hectares. This is the area of coffee in Indonesia. Mostly coffee grown at the Sumatra Islands, 63%, and the second one in Java, especially East Java. This is my home province, and also West Java is 14%, and then the third one is Sulawesi Island, where Toraja and Kalosi coffee come from here, and then from Bali, East Nusa Tenggara, and also Timor, West Timor, because East Timor already now independence, and then Kalimantan is small area, and then also at Papua. This is the coffee area. So according to the enterprises, that 96% owned by the smallholder, and only 2% each owned by the government estates and private estates. This is also similar with the production. And the composition of coffee in Indonesia, now 76% is Robusta coffee, and only 24% is Arabica coffee. This area and this is production, more or less similar. This is the export and import of coffee from Indonesia. In 2012, the volume of export is more or less 4 until 500,000 tons, and the value is like this. And we also still import from other countries, but our import also increased from year to year, and recently we export more or less 50,000 tons with the value like this. This is the graph of our production, and then our export, and this our domestic consumption. So we can see that the domestic consumption of coffee in Indonesia also increased from more or less only 100,000 tons in 2002, and 10 years ahead, in 2012, our consumption has increased more than 100%. And now our consumption per capita is nearly 1 kg per year. So if you know that our total population is more or less 2 250 millions. So it means that the consumption is more than 200,000 tons per year. This is the export destination of Indonesian coffee. EU is the first, 26%, and then Japan, 20%, US, 18%, Asia and others, 25%. This is include Korea, and Africa. We export also to Africa more or less 11%. And we also import coffee from Vietnam and Brazil as a green bean, and we also import from Italy and USA as a processed coffee. Downstream industry in Indonesia already developed, and the type of product of downstream industry in Indonesia is roasted bean and ground bean, instant coffee, also mixed coffee. Mixed coffee is very popular in Indonesia because we have 2-in-1. We call 2-in-1 is a coffee plus sugar. 3-in-1 is coffee plus creamer plus sugar, and also herbal coffee, coffee plus ginger, coffee plus cinnamon, and also coffee plus ginseng. But ground coffee dominates domestic market demand in Indonesia. This is the profile of coffee downstream industry from 2000 until 2005. We see that the number of companies increased significantly from 65 to 75. The capacity also increased, but the performance, we see that also increased from more or less 100,000 until now 130,000. And the growth is, the average is 3% per year. We have many specialty coffee, such as Gayo coffee from Aceh. This is Sumatra Mandailing coffee and Lintong coffee, already very famous in the world. We also have Kopi Luwak, but with very limited market. And also we have a Java Arabica coffee. This also we call also in specialty coffee. Bali Kintamani, also specialty coffee from Bali. Toraja from Sulawesi, and also from Flores, also from Papua. And we also have organic coffee from some areas in Indonesia. And in Indonesia, we also already have organization of specialty coffee. We call the Specialty Coffee Association of Indonesia, SCAI. This is the area where the coffee specialty come from. Gayo coffee from here, Aceh, and Sumatra. North Sumatra is produce Sumatra Mandailing and Lintong coffee. Kopi Luwak from Lampung and from Java. Java Arabica from East Java. And Bali, Bali Kintamani coffee here. Toraja coffee here. This is very popular in Japan. Flores coffee is the new one, produced from Flores Island near the Komodo Island. And also we have Arabica coffee comes from highland of Papua here. Some of our specialty coffee already protected by the geographical indication, and the right is already owned by the Bali Kintamani coffee, and then Gayo from Aceh, Kalusi from Sulawesi and Java also, and Flores, and also from East Java. So we see that the Gayo coffee already protected by the indication of geographic right, also from West Java, East Java, Bali, Flores, Toraja, Sulawesi coffee. This is already protected by the geographical indication right. We see that now cafe outlets is in some countries, in some cities in Indonesia. So at Jakarta, many cafe outlets. Jakarta and then Denpasar, Bali, second cities, and Surabaya, Bandung, and also other cities here. So this is indicated that the growing of consumption in some big cities in Indonesia is now increase. So we see branded cafe such as Starbucks, Coffee Bean, also Excelsior. Excelsior really is the local company, but now already have a similar level with Starbucks and Coffee Bean, especially in some cities in Indonesia. But the increasing demand of coffee in Indonesia, not only at the branded cafe or branded outlet, but also in medium and grassroots outlet. So you see that like in the port, so this Rumah Kopi is a coffee house, and this is Starbucks coffee Indonesian version. So there is also 3 Cycles coffee. So these 3 cycles around at the villages, and especially they sell instant coffee like this. The instant coffee, ABC, brand ABC, and also Nescafe. The retailer enter to the villages and then sell to the lower levels of people. And also in this, you see that on the boat also there is coffee outlet here. This is our commitment to sustainability of coffee. Indonesia commits to generate sustainable coffee development, involving 3 aspects as follows: sustainability on profit and intangible benefits to improve the livelihood of local peoples, especially to farmers, and also sustainability on global coffee business, because we also want to give benefits to all stakeholders involved in the value chain. Also, sustainability on ecosystem and socio-cultural management of local community. And our government apply the commitment to sustainability, including the first one is empowering farmers' organization, and then improving quality and productivity, strengthen domestic market, improving added value from coffee export, and also support finance, because you know that many farmers are not capable to providing financial from their self, and also developing downstream industry, Also developing mutual business partnership between farmers and exporter or roaster. And the last one is applying good agricultural practice in coffee for farmers and also good practices in coffee business in general. This is the sustainability certification standard that now already active in Indonesia. So the first one is organic USDA, and then fair trade. Fair trade is very popular in Indonesia. Also Rainforest Alliance and 4C, cafe practices by Starbucks, and also UTZ certified. And now, because there are too many standards, many coffee farmers in Indonesia very confused which one they have to follow. So that's why the government of Indonesia now make a draft of Indonesian sustainable coffee standard that actually this draft is covered all of the standard. So we take many parts of fair trade, UTZ, Rainforest, and others to combine as one standard. And we hope that if the Indonesian farmers already applying this standard, it means that this product already comply with other standard. But up to now, still draft, not yet finished. For future programs, Indonesia will continue to develop its position as coffee producing country in forthcoming years. Also, the second one is developing specialty product of Arabica based on different geographic origins. During the next 10 years, export of Arabica is expected to reach 30% of total coffee export from Indonesia. And the third one is not develop Robusta coffee due to less competitive against other estate crops such as rubber, oil palm, sugarcane, and cocoa, because the area of Robusta coffee also suitable for rubber, oil palm, sugarcane, and cocoa. Those give more benefits rather than Robusta coffee. However, intensification and quality improvement of Robusta will be continued at the farmer's gate. Increasing demand on coffee at domestic market is also our programs for the next. The level of annual consumption is estimated will be more than 1 kg per capita in the coming decade. And the last one is developing downstream industry to support domestic market. I think that's all. Kamsahamnida.